All right, so I want to show you the buyer broker agreement and how to access it through Transaction Desk. So we're going to go ahead to our MLS. All right, there's a few ways to access the Transaction Desk, but I go to MLS Products, Show More, and I have this right here, Transaction Desk. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and this is where we're going to get all the MLS forms. If you are looking to work with a buyer and get a exclusive or non-exclusive buyer broker agreement, what I'm going to show you here is if you click on this, you can go ahead and hit Forms and One Key MLS forms, and these are all the forms you need to list a property or work with a buyer. Best practices, if you're going to be signing up a buyer and work with them, what I suggest you do is start a transaction for them. So we're going to go ahead and create transactions. So I went back up here to the dashboard. We're going to go ahead and create transaction. And the name, I might just have the buyer's name. There's no templates, and we're going to go ahead and hit create. So you can add me to as the selling agent. You're going to hit create. And by doing it this way, you're going to be able to go in here and write up offers and have all the contact information. So you don't have a street name, a street address or anything like that, but we do have information on who this person is. So you can fill in everything. You could add them as a contact if you wanted them to e-sign or anything like that. You would create new transaction contact. It's the buyer. All right. And you can go ahead and save that. So now we have a transaction with this person, and we can go ahead and go to forms. So you see there's none there. We could go ahead and add. We're going to hit One Key MLS. And if we scroll down, so this is an exclusive buyer representation agreement. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. We're going to add. And now we have it here. So when we make changes to this, um, it's going to stay there. So if you need to make additional changes, you can go back. So what we're going to fill this in, a few things. So we have a buyer broker fee. So just for an example, I'd put that down. If they do lease a property, we could put down whatever you want here, 1 month or whatever that might be. If the buyer purchased a property that the broker showed them within, I always like to put 45 days here, 30 to 45 days. So if you did show them a house and they decided not to buy it, the broker agreement maybe expired, but they went on the contract within 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, you would still be entitled to be the cooperating agent and be entitled to a commission. So length of agreement, it has to be a reasonable amount of time. You can't just put 5 years or something like that. Similar to listing agreements, you're somewhere in the range of maybe 6 months, 8 months, 12 months. Some buyers might be uncomfortable with that. You could put anything you want here. So you could go ahead and put 3 months, whatever that might be. Types of properties, again, it's got to be specific. So if they're looking for residential, vacant lot, condo, co-op, or something else, you would have to be specific in this. Same thing with geographical area. You want to put an area that you will service. So you got to provide good service, and it's got to be reasonable. If you put Buffalo because somebody's looking at Buffalo or Nassau County, there's a chance that might not be able to be held up with legal. So we're going to go ahead and put Nassau and Suffolk County because that's in our service area. Minimum bedrooms, minimum baths. It's not super important that we put this down. So approximate price range. You can put a pretty good range here on houses in the area that they're looking. Financing terms, you could talk to them a little bit about that, but you could just say, conventional or FHA loan type or similar. Important requirements. If there's any specific requirements that we have to put in here, we can, or we can leave it blank. primary residence, you're gonna go ahead and hit that. There's any additional terms to the agreement. And we're gonna have the buyer sign, put their telephone number, and then as a broker, we need to sign this too. Something important with this is if it's not signed by you, the agent, then it's not going to be valid. So if they sign it, you put it in your file, and you show them a bunch of houses, and then they go on the contract, they no longer want to work with you, and we don't have an executed by both sides buyer broker agreement, you have little recourse to get them to work with you and pay your compensation. So it's as simple as that. Now, if we did want to do an e-signing, we could. So we can go ahead and save and exit. And we're going to click on this, and we can go to signings. So we can add a new signing, buyer broker agreement, save. We're going to add the document to it. And we only have one document, so it shows up there. We're going to go ahead and add. And at this point, we're going to do a few things. So we want to add ourselves as a signer as well. That way we can execute this thing. So add yourself, hit save. I'm the listing broker. The buyer is going to be not showing up there. Let's see. Add participants, add firm transaction. I'm going to find John Smith. We're going to select that and add him. And he is the buyer. So now we can go to the tools. We can scroll down to these spots, and we can go ahead and drag that over. And if you see here, the buyer's signature is already there. There's certain things that you might need to do that you need to fill in here, such as the rental part of it. If they lease a property, we can go ahead and add a text box, and you can put 1 month or something like that. So you can play around with it, but it's really easy to do it this way, and doing it through Instinet, allowing e-signing allows you to get these signed prior to showing them houses and not doing it at the house. So once you're done, you're going to go ahead and hit next. It's going to process, and then you could go ahead and customize the invites, meaning you can customize what you write in there, or you could just simply send it. And if they are expecting it, you shouldn't have to customize that too much. So I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, reach out.